Hey everyone, welcome back to the Bible reading plan. We're in 1 Peter chapter 1 today. I'm super excited. I love this chapter for a few reasons. So we jump in. Peter is writing to the dispersed church in Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia. And he is encouraging them, the ones who are in persecution, the ones who are struggling right now, who are being persecuted because they have a faith in the one true Jesus Christ. So he goes and it reminds them in verse 3 that they have been born again into a living hope, a hope that is alive here and present in their problems and their issues and their persecutions right now. He's reminding them that the God who was before the foundation of the world is now in their presence and in their midst. And he's showing them that their faith right now isn't going to turn up void. In fact, he shows them in verse 7, I'll read it, that their persecution is going to purify them. He says, so that the tested genuineness of your faith, more precious than gold that perishes, though it is tested by fire, may be found to result in praise and glory and honor at the revelation of Christ Jesus. He says, though you're going through hard times now, don't count it as loss because you are being purified. Your faith is being purified in this problem, in this persecution. Your false hopes are being washed away. Your false comforts are being washed away. Your false idols are gone. Your false ideas or hopes or trust that you put in this world are going to be washed away because in this time of persecution, you're going to look to the living hope, the only hope that prevails, the only God that can get you through this, the only hope that is truly living. He says, your hope is going to be refined, and your faith is going to be tested and strengthened because you're going to have to turn to the one true God who truly supplies for your soul, who can truly give you a hope after this life. So friend, I would encourage you today, if you are going through a trial today or you feel persecuted in any way or oppressed by Satan or the enemy, that I would encourage you today to look to the living hope. Let that trial be used to purify your faith, to wash away the false hopes, the false idols, the false comforts of this world, and allow it to turn you towards Jesus Christ and show you a clearer picture of this hope that we found in Jesus. And in verse 8 he says, though you have not seen him, you love him. Though you do not know him, though you do not now see him, you believe in him and rejoice with joy that is inexpressible and filled with glory, obtaining the outcome of your faith, the salvation of your souls. This is beautiful. And I love this verse in verse 20 because he's saying, cling to this living hope. Let your trials purify your faith so you come out stronger and closer to Jesus for it. But I love verse 20 because it shows us the battle we're in and the narrative that we have been set in. This narrative that has been going on before the foundation of the world. That we get caught in our problems, but we forget that there is a story being told that was being told and written before the world was created. So it makes our problems look a little smaller and it makes our hope look so much greater. He says in verse 20, Peter writes, he was foreknown before the foundation of the world, but was made manifest in the last times for the sake of you, who through him are believers in God, who raised him from the dead and gave him glory, so that your faith and hope are in God. Having purified your souls by your obedience to the truth for a sincere brotherly love, love one another earnestly from a pure heart. I love this so much because he says, the God that is with you now is the God that was with you before the foundation of the world. And the story that you've been set in was already working before the foundation of the world. You see, Christianity, he's saying, your faith didn't start before or when Jesus was manifest into this world. He actually tells them that they are a part of a family of God that was in the times of Abraham. They are elect exiles just like Abraham. But before the foundation of the world, Jesus and God was working, creating this story, creating this narrative that we would one day be honored and be able to be a part of. So he's saying the God who was in the present is the God who was, and the God who was to come, who is to come. That this living hope that we have in that Jesus is going to come back, and he's going to claim those who are faithful to him, and he's going to set not just us right, but he's going to set the entire cosmos right. This entire narrative that he's been working out from the foundation of the world, he knew he would one day come to set it right. So if you're going through something today, some deep trouble or deep trial that may be purifying you, but it's hard and it's weighing on you, I would encourage you today, look to the living hope, because Jesus is coming. We're in the last days, and he's coming to purify and redeem all that is broken, all that is lost, all that is not good. It shows that Jesus is not done on this earth. So what do we do in the meantime? Well, he says it right here in verse 21. He says, believers in God, we need to do the highest of high virtues, to love one another, to be faithful to the truth while this day is at hand, while this persecution, while this weight is on us. We need to be faithful to Christ and love one another in that. So I'd encourage you to do that. Be faithful to Jesus and all truth, and love one another, and just have that hope in God. The one that was working before the foundation of the world is strong enough and powerful enough for your problems now, and you have a living hope in him for the future. But thank you for joining me in the Bible reading plan. I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye.